For this video series, we will be learning about surds, going from the basic principles all the way to the more complex subtopics such as rationalizing the denominator. So, starting off, what is a surd? Surds are written in their root form. As we can see here, we have root 3, 8 and 11, and we cannot easily square root the number inside as they are not square numbers, meaning if we entered these onto our calculator, we would get a decimal value, as shown here. In comparison to this, when we square root square numbers, like 16, 36, and 64, these equal to whole numbers, such as 4, 6, and 8, meaning these are not surds. So, in a nutshell, when we square root and get a whole number, it is not a surd. And if we square root and get an irrational number, it is a surd. Now, when we need to simplify a surd, we want to find two numbers which multiply together to equal this number inside the root. The aim when doing this is to make sure that one of these two numbers is a square number. We always want to find the largest square number that goes into the surd that we are trying to simplify. One thing that can help with this is writing out a list of all of the square numbers and determining the largest one that we can divide this surd by. So for this question, by using our list, we can see that 16 is the largest square number that can be divided into 48. Therefore, root 48 is equal to root 16 times by root 3. So I'm just rewriting it here on the right hand side in another color. So yeah, again, root 48 can be written as root 16 times by root 3. When doing this, we are able to simplify the square number and multiply it by the surd, which in this scenario would give us 4 times root 3, which just equals 4 root 3. And the value of k is 4. Having a look at another question, here we have to write the square root of 45 in the form of k root 5, where k is an integer. So the same process as the previous question, we need to split up 45 into two numbers where one is a square number. And here in the question they give us a bit of a hint, as they say that the simplified final answer includes root 5. Therefore, we know that one of the two numbers that we split root 45 into will be root 5, and thus the other number will be root 9. And if we have a look at our list of square numbers, we see that 9 is on here. Therefore, it can be used when simplifying the square root of root 45. And just for our working out now, I'm just going to rewrite square root of 45 equals the square root of 9 multiplied by root 5. Now root 9 can be simplified to 3, so 3 multiplied by root 5, which just equals 3 root 5. Therefore, our final answer is 3 root 5, and k equals 3. So we'll work through this last question together, then I'll hand it over to you to do a few on your own. Now here we need to write the square root of 160 in the form k root 10, where k is an integer. So again, when simplifying a surd, we're going to split 160 into two numbers, and just like the previous question, this has given us a hint, as they say the final answer includes root 10. So one of the two numbers can be root 10, and therefore the other one will be root 16. Now, if we check this against our list of square numbers, we see that 16 is on there. Therefore, these two numbers can be used to simplify the square root of 160. Now, just doing our working out, so the square root of 160 is the same as the square root of 16 multiplied by the square root of 10. And the square root of 16 is 4. So multiply that by root 10, which is just 4 root 10, which is our final answer. And here k equals 4. Now, what I would ask is if you could please pause the video, write down these 3 questions and attempt them, and please show all of your working out. Once completed, press play and I will go through these and we can mark them together. For this first question, we need to write the square root of 63 in the form of k root 7, where k is an integer. Now, so first off, we need to split 63 into two numbers, and we know that one of these numbers is going to be 7, as given by the question, and therefore the other number is going to be 9. And we know that this is correct because 9 is a square number. So, rewriting this, square root of 63 is the same as square root of 9 multiplied by the square root of 7. The square root of 9 is 3, so 3 root 7 is our final answer, and k is 3. Moving on to the next question, we need to write 5 root 27 in the form k root 3. So we need to simplify root 27 and we need to include root 3 in our split. So if one of our numbers is root 3, the other is therefore going to be root 9, and again root 9 is a square number, so these can be used together. So showing our working out, we're going to rewrite 5 root 27, which is the same as 5 multiplied by root 9 multiplied by root 3. So if we simplify this, we get 5 multiplied by 3 multiplied by root 3, and just collecting the like terms, we get 15 root 3, which is our final answer. So in this question, k equals 15. Moving on now to our final question, we need to write 4 root 12 in the form of k root 3. So when we do our split, we're going to include root 3 as one of the numbers, and therefore the other number is going to be root 4. And 4 is a square number, so these two are fine to use. Now, just again showing our working out, 4 root 12 can be rewritten as 4 multiplied by root 4 multiplied by root 3. And simplifying this, we get 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by root 3, which gives us a final answer of 8 root 3. And k is equal to 8. Now, if you got all of those questions correct, well done. I would recommend you now go to the next video on this series, which is on adding and subtracting surds. If you didn't get them all right, rewind the video and go through the concepts again to see which part you got wrong, then retry these questions. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.